The seventh child of the Jackson family, Michael Jackson begun his career aged 11, as a member of the family pop group Jackson 5. He later went on to become one of the most successful solo performers of all time. Both his career and turbulent personal life have been a dominant part of pop culture since the 1970s. Guinness World Records have cited him as the most successful entertainer of all time, and his album Thriller holds the record for the best-selling album ever. In 1984, Michael Jackson won 8 Grammy Awards in a single night, and he has charted 13 #1 singles in the Billboard Hot 100. Michael Jackson's changing appearance and controversial behavior, however, have affected his album sales, which have declined since the 1990s. Childhood. In 1964, Michael Jackson joined his brothers, playing congas for their group. He later became their background singer and occasional dancer, before eventually climbing to the position of lead singer when he was 8 years old. The band toured Indiana and won a local talent show, which then led to them playing a string of professional gigs, many of which were in black clubs known as the Chitlin Circuit. They signed a contract with Motown Records, and their first 4 singles, I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There, shot them to stardom. Jackson released 4 solo studio albums on Motown whilst still a member of the group. Following a name change to the Jacksons, due to legal wranglings with Motown, Michael was the lead songwriter from 1976 to 1984, and during this time, he made acquaintance with Quincy Jones, who agreed to produce Jackson's first solo album in 4 years. Solo albums. Off the Wall Invincible. Off the Wall, 1979. This album made music history by being the first ever to contain 4 top 10 hits. Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney both have writing credits on the album. The album eventually sold over 20 million copies worldwide. Thriller, 1982. Thriller is the best-selling album of all time and sent Jackson's fame global. It also became the first album in history to contain 7 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. The video for Billie Jean was the first video by a black artist to receive regular MTV airplay, whilst the 13-minute video for Thriller was revolutionary for its time and became the best-selling music home video ever when it was packaged with the featurette making Michael Jackson. Whilst performing Billie Jean in 1983, he debuted his signature dance move, the moonwalk. Bad, 1987. Bad received over 2 million advance orders before it was released, and was his final album to be produced by Quincy Jones, who forced him to cut the 30-strong collection of Michael Jackson songs down to 11. The album generated more Billboard #1 hits than any other album ever released. His accompanying tour had record-breaking attendance figures, playing 123 concerts to over 4.4 million fans. The level of fame that he now enjoyed drew parallels to the Beatles and Elvis Presley. Dangerous, 1991. The anticipation of Dangerous was marked by the theft of 30,000 copies of the album being stolen at Los Angeles International Airport before it was officially released. The biggest hit from the album was Black or White, which was accompanied by a controversial video, which featured several scenes which were construed as having a sexual and violent nature. The 14-minute video was edited to remove the offending scenes. The video was premiered in 27 countries simultaneously, and had the largest ever viewing figures for a music video, around 500 million. History, 1995. History received 4 Grammy nominations and won 1 Grammy. It sold over 18 million copies worldwide, which earned it the title of the biggest-selling multiple-disc album of all time by a solo artist. More than 4.5 million people attended the accompanying promotional tour. The first disc was a greatest hits package, whilst the second contained 15 new numbers. At the Brit Awards, Michael Jackson was awarded the title Artist of a Generation, but his performance at the ceremony was interrupted by Jarvis Cocker, singer of the band Pulp, who leapt on stage and made rude gestures. Cocker was arrested on suspicion of assault but released without charge. Invincible, 2001. Debuting at #1 in 13 countries, Invincible went on to sell nearly 8 million copies worldwide. Shortly before the album's release, Michael Jackson told Tommy Mottola, the head of Sony Music Entertainment, that he would not be renewing his contract with them. All subsequent single releases, video shoots and promotions for the album were then cancelled. This led to Jackson tagging Mottola as a devil who did not support African American artists, and used black artists for his own personal gain. His increasingly eccentric image and the lack of promotion for the album conspired to make this album less successful than his previous releases. In September 2001, Usher, Whitney Houston, NSYNC, the Jacksons and Slash performed at Jackson's 30th anniversary celebration at Madison Square Gardens. Since his death, 2 posthumous Michael Jackson albums have been released. In 2010, Epic Records and Sony Music Entertainment unveiled a collection of previously unreleased songs entitled Michael. The album featured Akon, 50 Cent and Lenny Kravitz, but received mixed critical reception. In 2014, Escape was released. Featuring the singles Love Never Felt So Good and Slave to the Rhythm, the album was received much more favorably. Private life. Jackson's father, Walter, was a strict disciplinarian, and many of the Jackson family have stated that they were spanked and whipped by their father for misbehaving. In 1994, Michael Jackson married Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley. They divorced less than 2 years later, amid rumors that their marriage was a sham and had not been consummated. Michael Jackson then went on to marry his dermatologist's nurse, Deborah Jean Rowe, with whom he had a son, Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., also known as Prince, and a daughter, named Paris Catherine Jackson. The couple divorced in 1999. Jackson's third child, Prince Michael Jackson II, also known as Blanket, was born in 2002. Michael Jackson attracted a media frenzy when he was pictured holding his baby outside a hotel window, with a cloth draped over the child's head. He was accused of being an irresponsible father, to which he responded, "I love my children. I was holding my son tight." Jackson's physical appearance has also garnered much press attention over the years. Throughout his youth, his skin was a medium brown color, but in 1982, his skin started to become gradually paler. Some elements of the media claimed that he was bleaching his skin, though he dismissed these claims on the Oprah Winfrey Show, stating that he had the disease vitiligo. The physical structure of his face also changed amid speculations that he has undergone several cosmetic procedures. Child molestation charges were brought against Michael Jackson when he was reported to be allowing children to sleep over at his Neverland Ranch. In 1993, Jordan Chandler, represented by a civil lawyer, accused Jackson of child sexual abuse. The case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum, rumored to be $20 million. The family then dropped the charges against Jackson. Later in 2003, Jackson was charged with 7 counts of child molestation and 2 counts of administering an intoxicating agent, all regarding one boy, named Gavin Arvizo, who was under 14 at the time of the incidents. Jackson was acquitted on all counts. Finances. In 1985, Michael Jackson purchased ATV Music Publishing, which owns the publishing rights to the Beatles songs, among others. In 1995, Sony Music Publishing merged with Jackson to create Sony ATV. Jackson's 50% share is rumored to be worth $500 million. He also owns all of his own publishing, called MeJack, which contains all of his own music catalog, and that of Sly v. The Family Stone. In 2006, state labor officials from California closed Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. He was fined $69,000 for failing to provide employment insurance. He is also liable for up to 10 days' pay for the 69 employees, who are now no longer allowed to report to Neverland for work. 30 Neverland employees have sued Michael Jackson for unpaid wages, totaling $306,000. Also in 2006, a federal judge allowed a $48 million claim against Jackson for unpaid fees and breach of contract, relating the refinancing of Jackson's debts and claiming a larger stake in the library of Beatles songs. Death. On June 25, 2009, it was announced that Michael Jackson had died of a cardiac arrest. He had been at his rented home in Los Angeles when he stopped breathing. His personal physician was with him and attempted to resuscitate him, but to no avail. He was pronounced dead at around 2:25 p.m. local time. The incident happened less than a month before Michael Jackson was set to undertake a mammoth 50-date residency at the O2 Arena in London. A memorial was held for Michael Jackson on July 7, 2009 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Amongst the performers were Mariah Carey, John Mayer, Jennifer Hudson, Usher, Stevie Wonder, and Lionel Richie.